gosh. Wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. Why am I nervous? I'm nervous because I started crying writing notes for this. I don't know, that's pretty on brand for me nowadays. That's so rude. Can't believe I'm doing this. That's so rude. Anyways, that's my hair. Kind of matches the shirt. What's up, guys? It's Yoomi. So I'm sure from the title, I'm probably gonna be not creative at all about this title for this video. So I'm sure you guys know or have an inkling of what this video is about. But just in case you don't, today is October 11th, 2018. It is 5 minutes till 2 in the morning. And what's special about October 11th is that in the US, it's apparently known to be National Coming Out Day. And for those who know me, which is probably most of you guys watching this video, I feel like most of you guys would assume I probably have a story, just like many of the people of my generation, I guess the millennials. People before the millennials and after the millennials, whatever generation names they have these stories. And I am going to try to make this faster. I don't want to waste the memory on my memory card, but sorry. You guys won't be able to hear it, but like my heart is like pounding in my chest. And I have notes. Let's just get straight into it. I'm making this video now, right? I'm sure it was like, it's 2018, Yoomi. You're 27 years old. Why are you making a video about coming out day? Or coming out in general so late in life? And the truth is, I think I'm finally at the point in my life, right? At 27 and a half, really. Finally at the point in my life where most of what makes me who I am, I feel like I kind of know that, right? I feel like I have a pretty good sense of the bigger picture that is who is Yoomi. And, you know, identities are ever changing sometimes. I feel like people really know that labels are changeable and we can identify in so many different ways, and like being queer is only a part of that. And I'm a huge proponent of that. I feel like I have an identity outside of who I am or am not attracted to, or how I identify on the gender spectrum. There are points of my personality, of my identity, that I still am contemplating. Like, I don't know if I am or am not non-binary. That's like a whole topic for another day. But this video, I feel like it's kind of on brand to who I've been preaching everybody to be, is that you should be who you needed when you were younger. I feel like in today's day and age, we're all about representation in media, anywhere, what have you. And so I feel like for those Asian American kids, those Korean American kids, those queerian, oh, I love that term. I'm like in love with it. Queerian kids, I hope that you can find some solace in what I have to say and like what I think the future is gonna look like, and what I hope I can be somebody that you can look forward to, like maybe being like, or having positive experiences like I've had. I think one of my biggest regrets about coming out is that I never got to tell my grandfather who passed away in 2017, like in January of 2017. Still hurts, but I had an uncle who said at his memorial, at his wake, that he asked me if I had ever told him, and I said no. Yeah, I told him I was too scared, and he just let me know, like, our grandfather was a lot more open than most people would assume, just because he was a Korean immigrant to the States. Doesn't necessarily mean he was completely, like, homophobic or anything, and I just regret not having the chance to, like, talk to him about it. And then another thing that I really feel like motivates me to do something like this is because around the Thanksgiving after I graduated from college, like 2013, I received a phone call from a friend's mom who told me that she had passed away in a car accident. And, Kirsty and I we weren't like best friends or anything, but we were close. We kept up with each other. We supported each other. Always checked in. I was really proud of her progress of getting clean and sober. And she had found a good job that she loved, and she was working out, and she had plans to move to California to become a personal trainer and, like, do all of that stuff and really get her life the way she wanted it to be. And it was cut short. She was only a year older than me. And the reason why I think about her a lot is because the year before that, she asked me to dinner so that I could meet her mom and her grandmother, because they were from a very, very small town in Texas, from good old Lufkin, Texas. And I realized after the dinner, and from the conversation that we had, like the four of us, Chrissy just wanted to show her family that, like, you could be queer in today's day and age and still be a successful person. I was working like 4 jobs. I was majoring in 2 degrees at the University of Texas at Austin, and I was happy, and I've always been a good kid. And I think she just wanted to show her family that, like, just because she wasn't straight anymore, or that she finally came out to them, didn't mean that she couldn't have a good life. And I was always very humbled by that. I was very honored that she thought I could be somebody to, like, show her family that not all queer people are crazy, not all queer people are bad, and that we're just as normal as a straight person might be. And for her to be gone really motivates me to be the best version of myself, and to be as open as possible, and to be proud of who I am. All parts, not just being queer. And, the world is making tons of progress. It's made so many, like, strides towards a better future and present for a lot of the queer communities across the globe. But there's still so much that needs to happen. There's still so many countries that are just not okay to live in, not okay to, like, be yourself. It's not safe. And I just want to help show people that, like, that's not okay, and that we need to talk about it, and we need to make a change. And it's hard. It's like, how can you teach someone or convince someone that you should care about other people? And I definitely understand that's a very large hurdle, but I'm hoping that this is just another step for me to take to help my circle of friends and my community, however small or big it may be, to make a difference, to make change, maybe have something click, or maybe convince somebody to think in a new way, or just talk about it openly and maybe change people's minds. So this is why, sorry, it's a long intro, this is why I'm going to talk about this. So usually the first question I get is, when did you know? When did you know you were gay? And, like, my story is interesting. I was, like, in pre-K. I was, like, 3 years old. I was going to St. Peter's in San Antonio, small little private school, and I was in K3, and we had this badass little playground. And one day we were playing Pocahontas, of course. I cried my little butt off because my classmates would not let me be John Smith. And the girl that was playing Pocahontas, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I just want to be the John Smith to her Pocahontas. I've been cheesy since birth, apparently. And the cool thing is, looking back on it now in hindsight, my teacher could have been like, Yoomi, you need to like get your shit together. Like, we're at a Catholic school. Like, this isn't happening. She just like told my classmates, like, you need to let Yoomi be John Smith for this game. And I was like, now I'm like, wow, progressive. But I mean, that's like the first memory of me like liking girls, like wanting something to happen because I liked a girl. And like, you don't know at 3 years old what gay is. You just feel like those are just feelings. Those are what naturally just happened for me. And then I mean, I kind of figured out through life watching like TV shows and movies, like, oh, it's when a girl likes a girl, it's being gay or being a lesbian. Thanks, Real World MTV. You rock. But early on, you also learn that it's not normal. So, like, in middle school, I had the biggest crush on a classmate. And I'm sure all my friends knew because they gave me crap about, like, doing little things that I thought was, like, just, like, my little way of, like, showing that I had an interest or that I really liked them. And looking back on it, it's just, like, really uncomfortable. And I wish that I didn't do things a certain way. But that's not essentially how I knew I was gay. You know, like, thank you, pop culture. Thank you for media content, for showing queers in life, even no matter how dramatic it was. And believe me, I love the drama. Very on brand to be dramatic. Anyways, the first person I ever came out to was my friend Sarah. We were studying for a world history AP test my sophomore year of high school. And to her, I only came out as bi. We were sitting in like the children's book section of like a Barnes and Noble by our high school. And I had known Sarah since second grade. There was even rumors spread that like I didn't like her because blah blah blah. But essentially, we found out in fifth grade we had a crush on the same girl we were really close to, who's now engaged, about to have a baby, and plays professional soccer in Iceland, and she's engaged to a woman, and it's great. It's beautiful. Queer ladies all around. But so we reconnected because we ended up at the same high school. So we were like just chilling. She was telling me about like her ex-girlfriend's soccer player drama. You know, high school. And I told her like, oh, I think I might be like bi. Maybe leaning towards just liking girls. And I was just like, oh, wow. Using being bi as a transitional phase it's okay, but like now I'm like thinking like that was just a little problematic as well. You live and you learn. Bi erasure is a thing. Don't do it. Sarah was the first person I ever came out to, and she took it fine because obviously she was gay too. Is gay, was gay, whatever. Gays find each other naturally, just FYI. And then the first adult I came out to was probably my freshman English teacher, who was actually the mom of my like best friend from junior and senior year of high school. We were just hanging out at my friend's house, and I was just like, hey, Miss Dut, I think I'm gay. And she's like, okay, whatever, that's cool, that's fine. And it was chill. She was like, thank you for telling me. It was great. So slowly, like junior year, senior year was like when I like really started coming out to like close friends. It's interesting. I probably told a couple of people that I'm not close to whatsoever. But in high school, you feel like who you're close to then, you'll be close to forever. And it's not the case, but I was very lucky because the people I did come out to, my classmates, my friends that were really close to my best friends, they were always like, we were just kind of waiting for you to tell us. Or I assumed, but I didn't want to corner you into like thinking or pressuring you into like saying something you weren't ready to say. And it was great. I had a lot of friends, parents who were very kind and understanding during a period where I never thought I'd be able to come out to my parents ever. The first family member I told was my cousin Ashley. She's a year older than me. She's the oldest of 9 grandkids on her dad's side. It was after a Warped Tour. We were at her house getting cleaned up before dinner, and I just told her, I was like, hey, I have to tell you a secret, and I hope you don't hate me. I hope you love me still, because we were all raised Catholic. And I told her that I was gay, and she's like, so? Like, I still love you. I wouldn't want you to think that I would ever not love you because of something like that. Like, it's normal to me. Like, you're just Yoomi. And then she was like, oh, you want to know a secret of mine then? And she proceeded to show me her very first tattoo that she got when she turned 18. If that sums up our relationship, I'm okay with it, because I loved her for that. It was like a secret for a secret. It wasn't any more heavier than her secrets. It was just a thing. Mind you, Ashley and her siblings and my aunt and uncle from that family have always been very open and have always been very kind. And I've always felt the most comfortable telling them that part of my life. So, of course, after I told Ashley, I told my brother on our car ride back from dinner with their family. And then I came out to my aunt, Ashley's mom, I think sometime during my senior year of high school. And she took it really well, as I expected her to. I never thought that. I was never really scared that my Aunt Sarah would actually have a negative reaction to it, even if we were all Catholic. Like, just being Catholic was really scary. Like, really scary. Especially in South Texas, in San Antonio. It's scary. Religion is a very important factor in a lot of people's life. So she took it very well. And so, like, I was always very good about telling people that I felt very safe telling, right? I've always kind of been very good at, like, gauging how a reaction might go. And then I don't think I ever told my uncle, but I'm sure he always knew. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, if you've never knew me in middle school and high school, anybody that I've known will probably be like, yeah, we always kind of knew. It just didn't matter. I was very lucky. The high school I went to was very nice. I even took a girl to prom and I wore, like, half a tux. So this was before, like, all the drama happened where people were, like, being denied entrance to their proms. I went to a public high school in San Antonio. Mind you, it was from a well-off community, but, like, still, I was very, very lucky to not have any drama, essentially. The summer between senior year of high school and freshman year of college, the summer before senior year, I started a film program, and at the end of my senior year, we got to compete with a short script for our summer film. I submitted a very low-key 15-page script about a girl in high school figuring out that she was gay and coming out to her family and stuff like that. Essentially, everybody took it as my way of coming out, right? Because a lot of the moment where the main character comes out to her mother is essentially what I did to come out to my mother. My junior year, my senior year, my mom took a trip for a month to Korea to see her family. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. I don't know why I did it. I didn't have any pressure to do it whatsoever. I just did it. I wrote an email to this woman while she was in Korea, across the Pacific Ocean, and told her, hey mom, I have something to tell you. I'm gay. I really should look up if I can. I probably have that email somewhere in my send box. I'm gay. Please don't hate me. I love you. Please don't kick me out when you come home. She called me a few days later. She was like, I read your email. And it's just a phase, you know? Like, when I was in high school, like, I just really liked my girlfriends, too. It's just, like, you just love your friends. I was like, yeah, I don't think that's what it is, but cool. Just move on. So it was fine-ish. I was surprised that it went that way. I never said a word about it to my dad. Fast forward to after I told my Aunt Sarah, I guess it came up in conversation. And one morning before class senior year, my mom left very early in the morning for work. It's like 4 a.m. Woke me up. My mom woke me up in the middle of the night, essentially at the crack of dawn. yelled at me in Korean, asking me why I would tell somebody about me being gay, slapped the shit out of me, and left for work. I didn't bring it up ever again to her, even through making my short film, even through writing it, spending my entire summer on, like, filming, directing it, editing that film. Never said a word to her ever again about it. Then my family comes to see this film that premiered at a Santikos movie theater that seats 300 people, and it was sold out. Leave it to Yoomi to come out to 300 people with the movie. My film career peaked that summer. The crazy thing is my dad showed up. He was supposed to go on a business trip. He wasn't supposed to come. He showed up. He watched it. He bought like 10 or 15 copies of it. He was so proud. And then I guess one of my program mates' moms went up to him and was like, "Hey, you should be so proud. You're brave. Your daughter's so brave, blah, blah, blah." And it clicked. He was like, "What are you talking about?" Grabbed me in front of like all the people that are in the lobby of this movie theater, grabbed me by the arm, pulled me over to the arcade, and started like berating me with questions like, "Are you gay? You don't have to be gay to make movies about gay people. Like, are you gay? Don't be," like, it was just weird. It was very intense. Luckily, my uncle, Ashley's dad, was there to just tell him, like, you need to leave. And I mingled, pretend like nothing happened, and then hung out with my friends. My dad came back from his business trip, he called me to his office, and we had a conversation, and essentially how it went is, again, you don't have to be gay to make movies about gay people. You're already a disappointment because you're going to school for film, not pre-med. Don't be more of a disappointment and say you're gay. And so it's the week before, I moved into my apartment in Austin because a lot of stuff happens. So I had moved into my apartment, was ready to start school like that following week, like the week right after my dad and I was in his office. And essentially what I felt in that moment at 18 was that he was telling me not to be gay, or maybe I wouldn't have a college education anymore that was paid for. I wouldn't have the financial support to even start. So I caved, told him I'm not gay, it's just a movie I made. Let's move on. And I went to school. I moved to Austin. I went to school for 4 years. I lived my life. I was very out, and I was just very out in college. I was very vocal about it. But as soon as I came home, no word. I rarely let my mom visit. I rarely talk to my parents. College was very much a time where I did not communicate with my parents at all because I was living two lives. Essentially, when you're gay, you're living two lives all the time, especially when you're not out. I lived the life where we didn't talk about my sexuality whatsoever. I just was. I was a tomboy all my life. Didn't like dresses. I always wore t-shirts, and I put my hair in a ponytail every single day until I cut it junior year of college. I wore guy clothes and sweatshirts. Like, it was not feminine in any way possible. And that was it. That was my identity with my parents. My other identity was just the Yoomi that you know, the Yoomi that you see on a daily basis or talk to, bubbly, outgoing, like just super chill and proud of who they are. Those are two different people. For the 28 years I've been alive, I've always been two different people. I have been more than two different people, depending on which group of friends I'm with, because they were my very queer friends that I met in college and after college that you start meeting through like mutual friends in that community. And then I have my very straight friends. And I'm not saying all my straight friends are anti-gay or homophobic. They're not. They've always been very welcoming of me, and that's why I'm friends with them, obviously. But they're just two different worlds, and they've always have been. And so I've been very fluent, as many other gay or queer people have been, at code switching. Recently, for 4th of July, I went to my cousin's best friend's parents' home, upstate New York. And in the car ride from the train station, they picked me up to her friend's house. I literally found myself asking How gay can I be? And yeah, it comes off as a joke because of the way I say it. But in reality, that has always been a question I ask myself in any social situation. How gay am I allowed to be? Not because I'm not trying to make other people uncomfortable. I am asking this because it is for my safety. It is for the safety of so many people asking, how gay can I be in this social situation? Can I be gay at all? And that is why coming out is so important, and that's why coming out is so hard, and that's why coming out is so scary. I come out every day, every time I meet somebody new, because my gender identity is so queer. I feel like my outward appearance is so much of a signifier of who I identify as, that I come out no matter what, as soon as I walk out the door. I come out anytime I open my mouth after somebody misgenders me as male. I have to come out anytime somebody asks me like what my relationship status has been, or whatever it is. It comes up so often, like you don't realize it when you're straight maybe, but it comes up so often. And I can't wait for the day that coming out, for me at least, isn't so often. I wish it wasn't a topic that I had to talk about. And I can go into more of these like individual stories in a later vlog, maybe, if you guys care enough. I came out to my mother's side of the family. I've only come out to two people on my mother's side of the family, and they're both my cousins. One of my cousins is in her 40s, has 2 young boys, and I was staying with her in Seoul this past May, so I was like, I need to have this conversation, because they haven't seen me like this in a very long time, like very masculine presenting. And I didn't want to feel like I was hiding parts of me to her, because she's one of the closest people in all my mom's family. I don't know exactly how bad it is. I just know that it's not accepted in South Korea. And I know that if I were just to show up the way I am to Korea, most people wouldn't ask. It's not natural for Koreans to ask people if you're gay. It's like not a thing they think. They just naturally assume you're a tomboy. You'll grow out of it eventually. She was like, yeah, of course. And I told her, well, it's not that for me. I am gay, and I hope that doesn't change how you feel about me or what you think of me. And she took it very well, because she's only in her 40s and is very young in South Korea, to be honest. She took it very well, and I felt so strengthened by that. And I asked her what she thought about me coming out to like her mom and my other aunt that my mom's very close to, and what she thought about like how my mom's been taking it. And she gave me a lot of insights on how to approach her, because I had just come out to my mother on the phone again. I had told my mother, or I told my cousin Yuna, just how badly it had gone. And she gave me a lot of insight on why it was hard for my mom, because your parents raise you for how many years thinking that your future is going to look a certain way, and it turns out it's not that. It's hard to process, and I got that. And I had also come out again, like actually like physically explicitly said the words to my father over the phone that same March that I was gay, and like I had to explain to him, and I was like, what did you think I was doing for the past 9 years of my life? And he's like, I thought you were pretending. I was like, you thought I was pretending? Who pretends to live their life harder? I asked him, does this make you not love me anymore? And he said, no, of course not. You are my daughter. And I don't think I would have gotten that response from him. And I don't think it would have gone the way it had. Honestly, I don't think it would have gone that way if my grandfather hadn't passed away previously. This was March 2018, 7 months ago from today's date, that I came out to my parents very explicitly, even if it was over the phone, that I was gay, that I am queer, and it finally stuck. So when I tell you I'm tired of coming out, this is what I mean. I still have to have awkward conversations with my mom that I refuse to have because I'm too old for this. But I know I can't really change her mind until I talk to her about it. Is that being conveyed to you? How frustrating it must have been for me, but also how much relief I felt when I came out to my parents, the age of 27, over the phone, from my office in New York City, that I was gay. And it finally clicked. It finally clicked for my parents. And it went the way I was dreaming it would go. You know, like not in my nightmares, but it was a dream for it to come out like that. From 15 in the Barnes & Noble next to HEB, from 15 to 26 and 11 months. It was 11 years. My coming out journey has been 11 years plus running. 11 years, guys. I'm exhausted. And I'm sure everybody else is that has to come out is also very exhausted. This part of the video is going to be my advice to all the queer kids out there right now. Be safe. When it comes to coming out, don't come out just because you feel like you have to. I hate to say it, but you know that kids get kicked out every day by their parents. Some get beaten up. God, parents have killed their children for it. Because that's how bad it is in a lot of people's eyes still across the world. Moms are literally murdering their sons for coming out as possibly queer. And that shouldn't be happening in 2018. And I hope that it pisses you off as much as it pisses off the rest of us. So if you're still a minor and you think you need to come out, please only do it when you feel like you're safe. If you have to and you know your parents are going to kick you out, please have somewhere to go to. If you have a friend that's willing to take you in, another family member that's safer for you to stay with that understands your situation. Finish school. Get that education. Figure out where you're going after you turn 18. Because at the end of the day, you can be queer, but I don't want you to be dead and queer. I want you to be thriving in this world. I want you to take in the fruits of the labor of every single trans woman that has fought for their right to exist, for the right of other queer people of color to exist, for other queer people to exist at all. I want you to take in the fruits of the labor of Pride Month and the activism that we see every day. You just have to stay alive, okay? Stay alive. I promise you have more time in life than we ever think we have at 15 or 16 or 17 years old. There's so much life to live. And at least in America, like, you need an education. You need to get your high school degree. Try and go to college. Get some kind of higher education if you can. Just pursue your dreams. Live a life that you can be proud of. Chase happiness like the rest of us, but do it while you're safe. Can't really reiterate more than that. Just take care of yourself. Know what your environment is and act accordingly until you know you can be self-sustainable. I've seen parents come around. I've seen churches come around. Still a long way to go. I've watched my queer best friends find love, find long-term healthy relationships, maybe not so healthy, lost love, found new love again. I've seen best friends get engaged. I've been in a very queer wedding for one of my very best friends from college. I've seen my friends find the love of their life and begin a new committed journey with that partner, and happiness and sickness and all of the above, just like any other straight person gets to have. So I promise there's stuff for you to look forward to. Maybe not in your life, but for your other queer friends. I found love myself. I've been through heartbreak. I searched for purpose. I found some inspiration. I'm living my life, and I'm still trying to live it, right? Outside of my identity, inside my identities, all of the above. You just have to look forward. And I know it does get better. It gets better. Doesn't work for you right now as a queer teenager. But you have to, that's all we can really have, is live in your present with what you have and think about the future you want to create, the future you want. We're out here fighting for you. We want life to be so much easier for you than it has been for other people before us, before me, before my time, for my friends in my generation. I want so much more for you guys, because you guys are going to change the world. You guys are going to be the people voting in the right people to make change happen. So my final piece of advice for you guys is this. For all my queer bees, for all my gay bees, please love yourself first. There's nothing wrong with you. You may not be perfect, but there's nothing wrong with you. Love others. Be kind to them. Love the life you have now. And I promise you'll get to love the life you'll get to make for yourself in the years to come. You'll get to love the life you'll lead in the future. But you gotta stick around for it. You gotta be here for it. You gotta push for it. Okay? Promise. It gets better. I'm gonna say it. It's cheesy, but I'm gonna say it. And this is to all my favorite straight people, to straight people that I don't know. This is to my straight friends who will never know what this life feels like. I grew up feeling invisible, unlovable, just a trash thing, not even a human to others. I grew up in fear of an unknown future. I grew up thinking that the day I come out to my parents, I better be ready, because that was the day that would be the end of my relationship with them forever. They would disown me, cut me off. Or if they didn't understand or want to understand, I would cut them out of my life. Because I'm tired of not having that positive love in my life. That fear continued until this past March. At 26 and 11 months old, right before I turned 27. Can you ever imagine having that feeling of fear for your entire life? I am proud of who I am. I am proud of who I think I am becoming. I'm proud of the person I am to the people I care the most about. And to even the strangers in my life that I come across. But this life is not easy, and I promise no one chooses to live life the hard way. Quote unquote, the hard way. I am praying for the day that coming out day is a relic of our past. I wish for a day kids don't live in fear that they'll lose the people they hold so dear. I really did not mean for that to rhyme. I hope that one day being queer will be as normal as the whites of our eyes. I made it this far in my life because of the kindness and compassion that straight people have given me, but also because of the strength and activism of the queer people before me and around me and that are after me. And I hope that I can show you through my actions that we deserve to be loved, we deserve to be treated with dignity, and we are the same kind of people as you, whether you're straight or gay. And this is why I made this video today. I hope I can convince you that, and I hope I've maybe changed your mind just a little bit, because I think I love you, and I think you love me too. And all we need to do is have a little compassion for each other. And I hope today is the day that you really start living with compassion. I hope you live with the compassion you've shown me, and you give it to the people you meet next. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. We made it. Peace out. Wow, I can't believe I did that. I got a burp. That was really, really hard. Adulthood. It's a scam. Take it back, life. I don't want it. Never again. I can't do this again. Do I burp when I'm anxious? That's a new discovery. Fuck, that was hard. Alright, let's get out of here. Ooh. Damn. Peace out.